What's up, YouTube? I'm in a new location. I'm on am I looking into this camera? I'm on my vacation. I had to come and give you guys my thoughts on episode 7 of WandaVision before I can fully enjoy myself. Um, I do want to say that I was not a fan of this episode. It annoyed me in a lot of different ways. I feel like there was just, I don't know, I don't have my thoughts together because I'm like annoyed. I just felt like they didn't answer anything. In most of these episodes, like you'll get more questions and then you'll get some stuff answered in each episode. I felt like this episode was just a setup for episode 8. And so I was a little annoyed. Like, I almost wish that they kind of maybe put 7 and 8 together, like put them out on the same day or something, because I don't know. But there were at least 2 moments that I thought were really, really cool. So let's just get into it. From what I remember, because I watched it at 3, and then I left to get on the flight at 5:30, and it's just been a shit show since then. So let's see. So we open with it was the Office theme music, but Modern Family titling. So yeah, so it was really Modern Family, and she was really giving us some Julie Bowen, some Claire Pritchett. Really nothing much happened in the WandaVision of it all. What happened is that after the events of episode 6, Wanda is having just, I don't even know what you would call it, like depression, sort of. I don't know what you would call it, but she was going through it. She didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to be bothered by anything, and she didn't really understand. She knew what she did. She did make note to say that she knew what she did, but she just didn't want to, I guess, deal with it. And then also things were, kind of caving in on themselves. The little boys are playing their video games, and all of a sudden it like morphs from a PS2 to an Atari to cards, and then things around her house while she's trying to settle down just keep rapidly changing, and she can't control it, and she can't figure out why she can't control it, right? She basically kind of summons Agnes, and Agnes comes and says, "Oh, I'll take the kids." I mean, an interesting thing that happened is that Agnes was like, while the kids were at her house, they said that they feel like it's so quiet in her house. They really like it there. It's so quiet. And you too, Agnes, you're quiet inside. So let me think. How do we want to do this? So we'll go back into Swordville. Hayward managed to get out, and I think there was some important line that he said, but I can't think of it now, so I'm not even gonna try to remember. Yeah, and then we also have Monica and Wu. My first little bit of annoyance, because bitch, you've been talking about this aerospace engineer for like 2 episodes now, and then when you finally get to the place that you're going, where he was supposed to be an hour away, you don't even show him. You don't even mention him. You just talk to some lady, and I don't even think you give her name, and you get in your little vehicle that they made in a day. Interesting. So I did think it was cool though when she got into this big, titanium, all kind of whatever it was. It was a cool looking vehicle, I will say that. And I thought it was cool when she tried to go through, and it was all this resistance, and it was like the energy field is soaking up all the force or whatever of it's matching the force of the truck or whatever, right? And so it gets kind of stuck in there. I thought all of this was cool, actually, the effects and everything. It gets stuck in there, and then the energy field is kind of like sucking it in, and Monica tries to get out at the nick of time, and she does get out in the nick of time, and then like it kind of sucks the truck in, and then it pushes it back out, and the front part of it is just like a random 80s pickup truck. Very cool, very cool. And then so Monica sees all this happening, and she's like, I can still go through. And she runs for it. And she goes through. And then it's all these iterations of, her former self, her former life, and then all these iterations of her in the WandaVision world. and she emerges. She comes through. She focuses. She gets, all of those iterations into one. She focuses. She gets through. She makes it through, and she has these weird looking eyes now, and her vision is just kind of like this weird kind of purpley blue kind of vision. Then she closes her eyes, and then she's fine again, right? So she goes to talk to Wanda. She kind of barges in Wanda's house, and she's basically telling her that, like, Hayward's a bad guy. Hayward's trying to do something with Vision, and, we have to stop him, and I understand you, and all this good stuff, right? They go outside, and Wanda does her WandaVision powers, her Scarlet Witch thing, and she, like, I forget, does she try to, like, blast her or whatever, but Monica absorbs the power. After that, she's just kind of like, I'm not scared of you. We have to, infiltrate this thing. We have to make this right, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm foggy on details because it feels like forever ago. Ugh, flying is just the worst, I promise you. Anyway, so she's like, I'm not scared of you, and it feels like she's actually gonna get Wanda on her side. And then Agnes comes over, and she's like, you go away. Talking to Monica, you go away. And she takes Wanda, right? So she takes Wanda, and Monica is close behind. We'll jump into Vision's story because, this is going to kind of go into the end of it. But Vision finds Darcy. I don't really know how he would have known Darcy, like, unless he, like, caught a glimpse of her last episode saying, oh, help him, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, he finds her. She is part of the circus troupe, and she is the escape artist because she was handcuffed to the truck when she went in, and so it's cool. I thought that was kind of cool. Vision is trying to talk to her. He does the little yellow phasey thing, and she remembers everything, right? And so they try to get out of there. They hijack a truck or whatever. And he's like, oh, I have so many questions. She's like, I got all answers for you. And so I guess she basically explains the events of Age of Ultron and Infinity War. It's cool. And I think one of the greatest things is that Darcy is like, but, watching your show, I could tell the love between you guys is real. And then also, Vision only cares about his children, or my children's sake. So he loves these children. He's bonded with the children. I'm saying this to say that I'm going to make predictions after this. So unfortunately, they are kind of just stuck at this street. The light is red. There's all these things that keep being created to block them from going, past. Crossing guards and construction work and red lights and all that stuff. I'm just kind of like, just fucking go. I mean, that this isn't real, right? I mean, I guess, I don't know, if you run over the kids, do you run over the kids in real life so that they die even when the hex is taken off? I don't know. But anyway, Vision ends up just like, fuck this, and he phases through the top of the truck. I think that was it with him. So then we get back to Wanda, and she's there with Agnes. I don't know, does she say anything weird to her, or does she just have a weird feeling? I think she does say something weird to her, but Wanda's just kind of like, where are the twins? Agnes is like, oh, they're in the basement. So she goes in the basement. And it's all spooky. There's like vines and like this purplish kind of thing going on, right? And Agnes introduces herself as Agatha Harkness. This ending sucked to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love this show and everything, but this ending sucked. I do appreciate the little theme song. It was cute. It was all Agatha all the time. But when they did that little song and that little clip and everything, it didn't really explain what they were talking about. Like, I was trying to see, and I need to watch it again, obviously. And, I get better context and stuff when I watch it multiple times, which I normally do. But, like, for instance, they showed her going into the house in the 50s. She didn't really do anything. And then they show her go into, at the talent show, and they show her doing magic. But I'm like, well, what magic did she do? Because most all of that was Wanda and Vision that we saw. So what did you actually do? So that's what I'm confused about, because, like, for instance, last week when Wanda extended the hex, that was Wanda who did that, right? We know that. And we know the things that Wanda has done. So how can they say it's all Agatha all the time? It was Agatha all the time. Mm-mm. I wasn't with it. And like I said, I appreciated the little theme song. I thought it was cute. And I thought the visual effects too were pretty dope. But, did I say both my parts? Oh, this is a good part. So, you know how, like, the Modern Family situation is, like, documentary style. And so Wanda was talking about just her mental breakdown. That's what I meant to say earlier. The person, you know, who's recording and directing or guiding the documentary or whatever is like, don't you think it's what you deserve? That gave me, woo, I got chills on that part, nigga. Anyway, so yeah, I was very let down by the ending of this episode. I just felt like, you know, maybe you could have cut some stuff in this episode to maybe have an extended it was all Agatha all the time to really show what she did. But like I said, I have to watch it again. But basically, what I was going to say about Vision is that, you know, he cares about his children, and Wanda cares about the children, and protecting the reality that she's built with them. And so I think it's going to be Wanda, Vision, and Monica, like, super powered fucking shit up, motherfucker. I don't know why I added that extra motherfucker, but whatever. You know, Darcy will be around. Wu will be around. I think it's interesting. Nobody's really saying much about this, but is her name Cat Glover? It's not Cat Glover, is it? Anyway, the girl who plays Darcy she was doing interviews for WandaVision. I forget. I think this is recent, so I think this might have been like past episode 4. Anyway, she was doing an interview and they asked her what, you know, she's been working on, and she hesitated and she said she is working on some Marvel things. So I don't know. Are we gonna turn her into a main character? Is she gonna get super powered? Like, I think that would be kind of cool. I think that Thor would love to see her super powered. So yeah, anyway, I know I probably missed a lot. It's a 15 minute mark right now. I know I probably missed a lot, but I don't really care, because it was just kind of like a dud of an episode to me. I was so annoyed by just the pace of it. It just didn't seem like anything happened. You know what I mean? So, but I do think that 8 is going to be lit. I think that 8 is going to be the best episode we've seen. And can we get it to be an hour, please? Please. All right, that's it. So I guess I'll edit this and figure out my day. Bye.